Hi, Kipsters! I am so excited to see you all for our very first Wit and Wisdom lesson. I hope you are all having a wonderful day so far, and I'm super excited to get started. But before we get started, I just wanted to introduce myself. Some of you might know me, some of you might not know me yet. My name is Miss Hardin. I am one of the first grade teachers. I am going to be CSU's first grade teacher. I am also going to be your Wit and Wisdom Seesaw teacher for remote learning. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about myself because I am going to get to work with you all at some point, either through the computer or in our live sessions on Zoom. And so I wanted to tell you a few things about myself. So some things that I love are my cat Murphy, which you might see him lurking around here. He might jump up in front of the camera, but that is totally okay. He is a sweetie pie. Some other things that I love to do, I love to be outside, to go for walks, to go hiking, to go for picnics in the park. And I also love to watch TV on Netflix at the end of the day to chill out. And so I can't wait to get to know you all and learn some of the things that you love to do. Another thing that I love to do is to talk about reading and writing. And that's what we're going to get to do through Wit and Wisdom this year. And we're going to get started with that today. I just wanted to say before we get started that I know this is your very first time doing Wit and Wisdom through Seesaw. And so we are in this together. At the very end of this video, I'm going to show you how I walk through Seesaw to upload my assignment for today, and you can follow along. But if you have any questions at all, you can either ask your parent or a family member to text me or your teacher those questions, but I will also be seeing you later, or another teacher will be seeing you later for a Wit and Wisdom small group, and so you can save your questions for then too. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and jump in with Wit and Wisdom. Some of you might remember Wit and Wisdom from kindergarten, and if you remember doing Wit and Wisdom or reading and writing in kindergarten, I want you to give me a silent thumbs up. If you were not at K&E for kindergarten or you can't remember, say that's okay. Because today we are going to jump into everything that you need to know for first grade Wit and Wisdom, so get ready. Today, we are going to start by talking about a book that you love to read. I know that all of you probably have a favorite book that you can read on your own, maybe a book that you read to your family, or a book that you remember your teacher reading to you in school. The reason that we're going to share a book that we love to read is because we know that reading can be so much fun. And today, we also had the chance to read about some animals that loved to read. So I want you to take a minute to think. What is a book that you love to read, and why do you love to read that book? A book that I love to read, and why do you love to read that book? First, I'm going to share an example with you, and then it's going to be your turn to share out loud. When you see this little speech bubble emoji right here, this is the little bubble with 3 dots in it. That means that I'm going to ask you to share out loud. You could share out loud to yourself, maybe someone in your family that's around, a brother and a sister, a pet, a stuffed animal, whoever you want. First, I'm going to show you my example, and then it's going to be your turn to share. So a book that I love to read is the book After the Fall, because I think the characters are really interesting. So you can see that I use our sentence stem. I love to read because to share out loud. So I said that I love to read the book After the Fall because I think the characters are really interesting. Now that you've seen my example, it's your turn to share out loud. I included some pics of my cat Murphy, Miss Gelb's dog Winnie, and Miss Gerard's dog Winston, because I know that when I share out loud, I'm sharing out to my pet, and a lot of you might be too. But like I said, you can choose to share out loud to anyone you want, maybe just to yourself, maybe a stuffed animal or your favorite toy. As long as you are sharing your thinking out loud, you are doing a great job. So I want you to go ahead and press the pause button on your video so that you can share out loud. You're using the sentence stem, I love to read the book, because, Go ahead and pause and share out loud, and I'll be here when you unpause your video. Awesome job, Kipsters. Great job sharing your favorite book out loud. I know that I cannot wait to hear all of your favorite books in our small group later today. Now that you have that favorite book in mind, we are going to jump into the content of our lesson. And so for Wit and Wisdom, every single lesson, we are going to have an essential question. Essential question is just a fancy way of saying our big question. Get ready to do it with me. Our big question. So this is the question that we are going to be trying to answer through all of the books that we read in a unit. Today, our essential question is, how does reading help us learn? You're going to practice echo reading with me. Echo reading just means that first it's my turn to read, and then it's your turn. So I'm going to read some words first. I'll point to myself when it's my turn. When it's my turn, I'm the only one that's reading out loud. Then, when I'm done reading the words, I'm going to point to the computer like this, and that means that it's your turn to read, and you're going to repeat the words that I just said. So watch me first. How does reading, that means it's my turn. Now I'm going to point to you, and you're going to say, how does reading? Your turn. Great job. Now it's my turn again. Help us learn. Now repeat after me. Your turn. Great job, Kipsters. That's called echo reading. And so when I say something and then point at you, that means it's your turn to repeat it. Let's practice it all together. My turn first. How does reading, your turn, help us learn? Great job practicing your very first time of echo reading. I want you to give your computer a big high five. Say, great job. All right, so today we are going to start to think about how reading can help us learn. We're going to be doing that by thinking about our text, Wild About Books. You might have heard the story Wild About Books this morning in your live read aloud or in a live read aloud another day, depending on when you're doing the seesaw lesson. But if you didn't make it to the live read aloud, say, that's okay, because in the link or in the instructions for this seesaw, I'm going to put the link for a read aloud video on YouTube of this text. So if you haven't heard this book being read aloud so far, in the instructions for Seesaw, there's the link to YouTube. You can click on that blue link and it will read the story out loud to you. But don't worry, at the end of this video, when I walk you through Seesaw, I'll show you how you can watch that read aloud. So don't worry about that for right now. You can do that at the end. And again, if you already heard this book read aloud during the read aloud, then you are good to go. Today, we are going to be practicing making a noticing. I want you to repeat after me. Making a noticing. I want you to think about, what does the word notice mean? Where have I heard that word before? And what's my guess about what it might mean? What does the word notice mean? Now that you have an idea of what the word notice might mean, I'm going to share with you what a noticing is. So the word noticing means to see something or to pay attention to something. For example, right now, I notice there is a window in my virtual classroom. That means that as I'm sitting in my room doing my virtual work, I see a window. That's something that stuck out to me. Today, you're going to be practicing things that you saw or things that stuck out to you from our book, Wild About Books. You're going to use the sentence stem, I notice, to share one noticing with me by recording your voice on Seesaw. And remember, I'm going to show you right after I'm done talking on this video how you can walk through Seesaw to upload your voice recording. First though, I'm going to show you a noticing that I had from the book Wild About Books before you get the chance to share your own. So remember, because I have this speech bubble right here, that means that I'm sharing out loud. So I'm going to say, okay, what did I notice, or what was something that was really interesting to me in the story Wild About Books? Okay, now I have my idea. I'm going to share out loud what I noticed. I noticed that the animals in Wild About Books aren't taking very good care of the books. That's all that I need to share. I just needed to share out loud one interesting thing from Wild About Books. Now you're going to have your chance to upload your voice recording on Seesaw so that I can listen to your noticings before our small group. I'm going to show you right now how you walk through Seesaw, but if you're having trouble, that is totally okay, and you can share your noticing with your teacher in your small group later today. So right now, we're going to switch over to Seesaw so that we can walk through together how to upload our noticing, and I will see you all in our live group or another day this week. Have an awesome day, Kipsters. Make sure you stay on to watch our Seesaw video. Okay, Kipsters, now I'm going to teach you how you can walk through your Seesaw assignments from Wisdom. This should be a great way for you to follow along as you go through the video and as you submit your assignment. So the very first thing I'm going to do when I go onto my Seesaw stream is here I see Wit and Wisdom, Module 0, Lesson 1, Seesaw work. This pops up on the day that I am supposed to do that Seesaw work. So first, I'm going to go ahead and listen to the instructions. Hi, Kipsters. I am so excited to get started with Wit and Wisdom. Today, you're going to be practicing making noticings about the text Wild About Books. If you haven't listened to the text Wild About Books yet, you can listen to it here by clicking the blue link. That's a YouTube link, so it will take you to a video. First, you are going to watch the video of Miss Hardin. Second, you are going to use the template to record your voice, sharing your noticing, and you will use the sentence stem, I notice. If you get confused, that's okay. You can ask questions during our small group later. You can complete this activity anytime today, but it would be the most helpful for you to finish it before your small group. Use your visual schedule to help figure out the best time to complete. See you soon, Miss Hardin. Okay, awesome. Now that I have finished listening to the audio instructions, I know that if I haven't read the text Wild About Books yet or listened to it during a live read aloud session, I'm going to go ahead and click this blue YouTube link. That's going to go ahead and take me to the read aloud so that I can hear that story. Now, once I've listened to the story, I know that I need to watch the video of Miss Hardin. I can watch the video by clicking this picture with the little video camera up in the corner. Once I click on that, I see it says, click here to watch the video of Miss Hardin. So I'm going to go ahead and click this link in this blue picture. That's going to take me to another page with my video for our lesson today. Your job then is to watch the lesson on YouTube right here. So again, all you need to do is click this link right here to watch that video. Once you're done watching the video, you can go ahead and click the X up in the corner. Now, you know that your assignment for today is to add a voice recording of you sharing and noticing. Anytime that you need to turn something into your teacher, you're going to come down here to this green button where it says add response, and you're going to click right here. Right now, I'm just a sample student, but you would click your name on the list. So for example, if my name was Adwego Brown, I would find my name in the list and go ahead and click there. But I'm just going to use the sample student, so I'm clicking right there. Now it says click the microphone button on the left to record your voice. And over here, I see the sentence stem, I notice. So I'm going to come over here to this little microphone button, and I'm going to click that. Once I click the microphone button, this pops up. It says record your voice starting in 3, 2. Once I see the red up on the top, that tells me that it's recording my voice. So I would go ahead and share. I noticed that in the text Wild About Books, the animals didn't take very good care of their books. Now you're going to share something a little bit different than me because you had a different noticing from the book. Once I'm done recording my voice, I'm going to go ahead and click done with the check mark. Then, once it takes a second to load, it says that they're uploading. It could take a few minutes. So I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to click the check mark to turn it in. This tells me it's still uploading. Once I'm done uploading my voice recording, I'll see a screen like this. This means that I've turned it into my teacher so that they can click play and listen to the audio. And that's all that you need to do for today. If you have any questions, please let your family know so that they can reach out to your teacher, or please tell your teacher during your live session. And that's all that you need to do for today. Great job, Kipsters.